Today is Monday, September 16th, and I'm just wondering, what the hell was that at AT&T Stadium on Sunday? Harry and I are star power people. I know what some of you might be thinking. Oh, they must get a bunch of free stuff. Absolutely not. We love Star Power because of the quality of their products and their remarkable service. Oh, you can buy electronics somewhere off a shelf and take it home and try to install it yourself or ask somebody to help you. But what if something goes wrong? Or what if it isn't quite right for you? That's where Star Power's service stars. And that's why we're Star Power people.
And now, a word from our title sponsor.
Are all financial advisors fiduciaries? Fewer than you think. Not knowing could reduce your lifestyle. Hi, I'm Mitch Kramer, founder and CEO of Fluent Financial. A fiduciary is a regulatory term to reduce conflicts of interest in wealth management. A fiduciary always works in your best interest. A non-fiduciary advisor might put their compensation or company ahead of yours. At Fluent Financial, we are certified financial planners acting as fiduciary advisors. To learn more, go to fluentfinancial.com or Fluent Financial's YouTube channel.
What do you want from your favorite restaurant? Fantastic personal service, a cheery, welcoming, spotless atmosphere, and great food. The primest of beef, wagyu and lamb, incredibly fresh seafood, lobster, salmon, shrimp. Hall of Fame food from a Hall of Fame restaurant. 2 locations of Bob's Steak and Chop House, the original Bob's on Lemon Avenue, and the gorgeous new Bob's at Craig Ranch, McKinney. Crest is again proud to sponsor the McKinney Police Association Golf Tournament and Car Raffle, October 24th at TPC Craig Ranch in McKinney. Sign up and purchase a raffle ticket for the opportunity to win a brand new Crest Cadillac CT4. It's easy. You go to CrestCares.com. You don't even have to live in McKinney to win. Grab yourself a raffle ticket, sign up at CrestCares.com, perhaps win that new vehicle, and do support the McKinney Police Association. One of the advantages of doing a podcast, as opposed to radio, is you can use certain words on a podcast that you can't use on the radio. So let's start with this. The Cowboys got their ass shot off on Sunday. Okay, now into the game. All sorts of nice things were being said about Mike Zimmer's defense last Sunday after the Cowboys shackled the crippled-looking Cleveland Browns. New Orleans on Sunday scored touchdowns on their first 6 possessions. Down the field they went, over and over and over and over again. They had drives of 80 yards, 70 yards, 70 yards, and 70 yards on their first 4 possessions. Those 4 TDs, they got 290 yards in just 24 plays. And in the first half, they got 5 touchdowns and 310 yards on 27 plays. Look at it this way. 27 plays. 5 times they were in the end zone. So the Cowboys made tackles to keep them out of the end zone only 22 total times in the first half. You talk about ugly. By the way, the 35 points the Cowboys allowed in the first half, that's an all-time record for the Cowboys. Never in the Cowboys' history, which is 80 some years now. Never had the Cowboys allowed that many points in the first half of a game. Let's go through some of the lowlights. Middle linebacker Eric Kendricks, who debuted last week with a huge day in Cleveland, looked lost on Sunday, out of place on several plays, and simply deked a couple of times by Alvin Kamara without getting a hand on him. Micah Parsons, 2 solo tackles, 1 assisted tackle, 2 quarterback pressures, no sacks. That's as close to invisible as you're going to see Micah Parsons. Mazi Smith, the number 1 draft choice of the Cowboys last year, whom the Cowboys, even after that dreadful 2023, believed could be the run-stuffing defensive tackle on this club, replacing the guy he backed up last year, Jonathan Hankins. Well, on the stat sheet, let's see. Mazi Smith had no tackles, no assisted tackles, no pressures, no sacks. You look at the defensive stats for the Cowboys in the game, and Mazi Smith's name isn't there. He didn't do anything by the stat sheet in the game. Man. New Orleans looks like they found something, and the Cowboys better fix it because other teams will do the same thing to them. New Orleans ran the ball left. They ran right at run-stuffing defensive end DeMarcus Lawrence and the outside linebacker on that side when he lines up at linebacker, Micah Parsons. They did all of this, ran the ball left behind an NFL draft choice, first rounder last year, playing his second game ever in his career, Tali Esse Fuaga. The Cowboys just had no answer for them running left. Alvin Kamara, Taysom Hill, Jamal Williams, everybody ran left. Until backup quarterback Jake Hayner knelt down mercifully on the last 3 snaps of the game. Those 3 running backs had accumulated 5 yards per carry for the game through 36 carries. Wow. And by the way, one more thing. So total was the dominance of the Saints that starting quarterback Derek Carr did not have to complete a single pass in the second half. But the defense, while it stunk, don't let the offense off easy either. Dallas can't run the ball. That's not surprising with the cast of runners they have. We've talked of that many times in the offseason. The best they have is Rico Dowdle. He got 30 yards yesterday. Zeke, he averaged 2.7 yards a carry. Deuce Vaughn, in just 4 carries, averaged 2.8 yards a carry. Dallas rushed for 78 yards. Alvin Kamara by himself rushed for 115. Gee. And the only touchdown of the game for the Cowboys, New Orleans will tell you, should not have been a touchdown. Dallas threw a sort of a medium deep out to the right to CeeDee Lamb, and 2 Saints defensive backs simply missed the tackle. And 65 yards later, Lamb had a touchdown. That would be the only touchdown for the Cowboys. After 2 games, I'll give you just my assessment of the offense. There is no running game here. There just isn't. That allows defenses to gang up on Lamb because they realize that Lamb is basically the only person on the Cowboys who can really hurt them. He's the only player on the Cowboys offense with any electricity in his game. Now, Jake Ferguson, the tight end who missed yesterday with an injury, he's got some game when he's healthy. But yesterday he was not healthy, and that left Lamb virtually alone. Now, I will say this. Young Jalen Tolbert had a pretty good game Sunday, and if you're looking for any bright spot in this game, it was that Tolbert looks like he can play in his third year out of South Alabama. Without fear of the running game, defenses like the Saints can simply drop 7 men into coverage. And with just their front four, New Orleans got reasonable pressure on Dak Prescott Sunday. Dallas offense consists of very moderate runs and a whole bunch of short to mid-range dump passes. Dump passes to runners, dump passes to tight ends, dump passes to several wide receivers. After 2 weeks, what do we have here? The Cowboys drilled a not very good Cleveland team. Then they looked like death warmed over yesterday in getting their butts kicked by New Orleans. Next week, Baltimore comes calling. Hacked off after blowing a double-digit lead in the second half to lose at home to the Raiders. They'll visit AT&T Stadium, and they will be the best team the Cowboys have met so far. So the Cowboys had better put this awful effort behind them quickly, or they're going to get their behind shot off again.
Today's episode brought to you by Fluent Financial, Retire Sooner, Better Lifestyle. And by Crest Cars. There's good, there's better, and then there's Crest. By Star Power, love where you live. And by Bob's Steak and Chop House.
Thanks for listening to today's episode of Just Wondering with Norm Hitzges. If you enjoyed what you heard, please hit follow, and a fresh new episode will be delivered to you every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And if you know someone who might enjoy our work, please share it with them. I'm Norm Hitzges, and I'm always just wondering about something.
And I'm Mary Hitchkus, and I'm just wondering too.